Stearns, choke or collapse? Last night, 8-8 say ESPN. Pacers beat the Knicks 138-135 in overtime. Tyrese Haliburton with 31. Aaron Nesmith with 30. 8 of 9 from 3. 20 points fourth quarter alone. 6 3-pointers. Knicks were up. Boy, those people that are waking up right now or don't know the details, when you hear what I'm about to give you, factual information, and then Smalls has the big stat at the end of this, you're not going to believe us, but this is true. The Knicks were up 17 points with 7 minutes to go in the fourth. The Knicks were up 14 with 2:45 to go in the fourth. The Knicks were up 9 in the final minute. Teams down 9+ in the final minute of fourth quarter overtime since 98. Smalls?
Heading into last night, Evan, they were 0-1,414. That's right. 0-1,414.
And now?
And now they are 1-1,414.
Smalls says collapse. Cece says comeback. I say I'm torn. Convince me and take a side here, ladies and gentlemen. Richard in Ohio, watching on ESPN2. Morning, Richard.
Good morning. How you guys doing? Glad to be on.
Thanks for joining us. What do you got? Collapse like Smalls or comeback like Cece?
Well, I'm disagreeing with Cece. That was the biggest choke job of them all.
Break it down for me. What you got?
What did you say? They're free. Take them. Make those free throws.
Absolutely. I mean, that's the part that's inexcusable. But I can't help but think about what the Knicks didn't do in terms of taking advantage of those opportunities, in terms of trying to get stops on the defensive end. It was uncharacteristic of who they are as a team. The Knicks don't typically play at a pace when the teams are going to score a combined 270 points. That's not who they are. Mm-hmm. But last night, that's exactly what we saw. And you just kept thinking, if they play at that pace and they don't focus on getting stops on the defensive end, if they keep trading buckets with Indiana, eventually, because Indiana is the deeper team, the Knicks are going to run out of steam. And that's exactly what happened. So I'm looking at those missed free throws at the end of regulation by Cat and by OG Anunoby, and I'm wondering, is that a product of playing Indiana's game? Not necessarily, having the gas to finish off the game, to close out game one on your home court. That's going to be something that we have to wonder, as we move through this series. Does the pace, does it have an accumulative effect in terms of taking away what the Knicks do best in terms of how they want to play the game?
Well, that's one thing we said heading into this. Whichever team controls the pace of play is going to win. And we know that Indiana has a lot of depth and that they wear teams down. Remember yesterday I said I picked the Knicks in 7, and the more I relitigated that, I didn't know if that was the right play, because if it goes 7, I think I have I think I feel better about Indiana in that spot because of how they play and the depth that they have.
All right, so quickly now, I'm giving you a redo. Pretend that never happened. Where are you going? Knicks in 7 or last night? Last night, such a demoralizing loss that it changes you. Brunson's face at the end, stuns. Like I've never, like that. Brunson is all-time classy guy, all-time, great player. Like that face, I've never seen like that at the end of the game.
Well, I'll just tell you this. I was at the Liberty season opener on Saturday against the Aces, which they won, by the way. And they got their rings. They raised the banner. And as a resident Liberty fan, I got one of the replica banners for CC. I brought it in today to remind New York that there is a banner that was hung in their city recently, just in case another one doesn't go up.
Small's the Pacers fan. Jamel in North Carolina listening on 99.9 The Fan in Raleigh. That station is run by my buddy Brian Gruby. He is from New York. I'm assuming he's a Knicks fan and miserable today. Sorry, Brian. Hello, Jamel.
Hello.
Hello.
Good morning, guys. So I think it was a choke job, and I think the Knicks are cursed.
Oh, boy. Here we go. Cursed season. I like it. Why?
What's the curse? Yeah, we need to know the origin of the curse.
We're in cursed season. Let's go.
I said this, what was it, Tuesday? We need more curses back in sports.
It's cursed because of MJ. When he took that 2 year off, they had a chance when the Knicks went to the finals against Houston. They never recover and never will.
So it's an MJ curse against the Knicks. And thank you
So
for
the curse of the GOAT in a different way?
Interesting.
Yeah.
That involves Chicago as well. I don't understand how that would be a curse, but I'm into learning more about the MJ Knicks curse.
Hold on. Nuno has a theory about the curse.
Go ahead,
Nuno.
Nuno.
The Pat Riley curse?
It's the Pat Riley curse. If you just had taken John Starks out of that Game 7, who was 215,
Wow, taking shots at John Starks.
and put in Rolando Blackman, I think you would have been all right. But he didn't do that.
Rolando Blackman, good luck charm for the Mavs.
Exactly.
Cooper Flag. So is it actually the Cooper Flag curse with the Knicks somehow? Robert in Chicago watching on ESPN2. Morning, Robert.
Morning. Thank you for having me on. How's everybody? I love the show.
Thank you.
My comment. If imitation is the greatest form of flattery, then the Boston Celtics should feel extremely flattered today because the Knicks pulled off a perfect imitation of the Boston Celtics, getting up by a bunch of points and waiting for the other team to fold, and they didn't.
That was interesting last night, and hearing Aaron Nesmith and the other Pacers players talk about it. We're just going to keep playing until the buzzer sounds. We just keep playing. We have the belief in ourselves that we can come back. We've done it before in playoffs past. We did it this postseason against the Cavs. We're just going to keep playing the game and see where it takes us. 3 minutes to go. There's still enough time. We're not out of this thing. To have that type of mental fortitude, to have that type of mental makeup collectively as a group is damn impressive. And to me, that's a sign of a well-coached team. We talked about it coming into the championship rounds. Rick Carlisle is the only one that's won a title.
That's right.
Out of these coaches in the Final Four. And I can't help but think that pedigree and imparting some of the wisdom of what he's seen throughout the years in the NBA, especially this time of year, played a factor in terms of his team believing that they could actually get that done. Because a lot of people talk about, hey, we're going to play every play. We're going to play every play. Don't pay attention to the scoreboard. Just focus on execution. We hear that kind of coach speak all the time. But we realize that players are human. Coaches are human. They don't necessarily believe that they could actually come back in that situation. But the damn Pacers did. And they had the gumption to pull it off. I didn't think I was going to use that word this morning, but yeah, it's crazy to think.
You're a gumption guy now.
It's crazy to think that they had the ability to actually pull that off. 7 threes in the final 5 minutes of game time in regulation? That is incredible.
And how, as a player, CC, how does that impact you moving forward? When Tyrese Haliburton hits him with the choke and then you go on to win the game, what does that do for you if you're in that Pacers locker room?
Confidence comes from demonstrated performance. I think it has an impact on Indiana, don't get me wrong, but I think by far the bigger impact is going to be on the New York Knicks psychologically. Because at that point you realize, man, ain't no lead safe. We was up by 17 with 6.5 minutes to go. We were up by 14 with 2:44 to go. And we couldn't win the game. I think that's the part that we have to pay attention to. Similar to what we saw in the semis between the Celtics and the Knicks.
Yeah.
You had 2 20-point leads at home and blew them both. Like, the Knicks had confidence in that same situation in Game 2 that they could come back because they did it in Game 1. Conversely, Boston was never comfortable no matter what their lead was. That's going to play a role moving forward in this series.
I feel really confident in that. I know, and we all know each other really well, and I really know Smalls really well, and I sense you teetering. You are teetering on a take. I could feel it.
What's the take?
You're teetering on the, do I think the Knicks are done from this game last night take? I could see it because I could just feel it of like, can any humans come back from something like that? And now they don't have home court.
Well, think about it.
You're teetering on that take. I feel it.
The Pacers couldn't come back last year after their Game 1 collapse against the Boston Celtics. They got swept in that series. Now, I'm not sitting here predicting a sweep.
I did.
I'm not sitting here predicting a sweep. But it feels eerily similar in terms of how Game 1 in the conference finals played out last year versus what we saw last night.
Well, and you just referenced it. I know they lost Jason Tatum later in the series, but the Celtics couldn't come back from what happened in Game 1 of the series prior.
Teetering. Take teetering. Smalls.
She's coming. She's
take teetering.
She's getting there. She's getting there.
Yeah.
It's her. She's getting there. It's percolating.
Do I need to be like, the Knicks are frauds?
It's percolating.
Frauds.
You can't even say it. You say it without laughing at yourself there. I tell you, there may be a new bet, though. Do you bet the Pacers live bet if they're down late in the game now?
Yes.
Is that now the new ESPN bet, live bet?
That's going to be the play of the day
That
tomorrow.
may be. It's just if the Pacers are losing,
if they're
bet
losing
'em.
by double digits, bet them to win.
Bet 'em.
Yeah.
The playoff.
Chào các bạn, người đó quay trở lại với kênh của mình. Hôm nay mình sẽ tiếp tục hướng dẫn các bạn làm vòng với tiêu đề là đúng sai. Bây giờ mình sẽ bắt đầu làm nhé.
Sai rẻ nói này em thì kiểu mút rồi dẫn cái gì làm cái gì vậy? Rồi thầy nó làm thầy ơi. Trời ơi, chuyện này tôi nó ăn cái môi thật mà. Biết. Tôi bạn. Nói dạ. Dạ phải chịu. Đâu cũng đâu. Đấy, nó cầm tay này. Xem cái chữ rồi. Nghe nhiều rồi. Đây, móc này. Bạn thứ hai cái này đây cháu có gái.
8.000 đi. Thành Huyền mới chia tay người yêu đấy. 8.000 đi. Nhanh lên để đâu nó có động lực đi ra đây làm. Không nó toàn ngại không dám ra đây làm. Nhanh lên. Huyền nhẹ nhàng hơn ta nhiều.
Nãy là thơ dưới đất rồi, bây giờ mình sẽ làm thơ trên biển. Em nó kiểu mua ra nó không ăn à? Đây là sự tin đẻo. Tất cả đều là xấu.